Hello, and welcome to Lease Query's Accountant's Angle, an audio blog series where our experts answer your most burning questions regarding accounting topics and upcoming changes. My name is Emily Fish. I'm a product accounting manager here at Lease Query and your host for today's audio blog. Today, I'm joined by Rachel Reed, Accounting Solutions Manager with Lease Query, to discuss GASB 96, your newest accounting challenge. Rachel, thanks for joining us today. Let's kick it off. Can you give me a brief overview of what GASB 96 actually is?
Absolutely. Yeah, so the GASB issued statement number 96, subscription-based IT or information technology arrangements, to address and define what these are, as no prior guidance has existed for these contracts, and they're becoming more popular, right, as technology gets better. So in order to provide transparency and increase the effectiveness of financial reporting for governments, this standard, again, defines it, but also requires governments to now record a subscription asset and liability on their statement of net position to represent those obligations that they have and assets that you receive for subscription-based IT arrangements. Now, if you're wondering, well, I don't really know what that is, how do I know if I have one? Well, it's a contract that conveys control, the right to use another party's software, IT software, as specified in a contract for a period of time in an exchange or exchange-like transaction. I know that's a lot, but if you're familiar with the definition of a lease for GASB 87, it is almost identical. You have to determine whether there's control of the underlying asset, with the present service capacity and the ability to determine how and what the asset is used for. So once you do have and determine you've got a subscription-based IT arrangement, you need to recognize a liability, an asset for these, very similarly to GASB 87, as of the commencement of that subscription term.
That's great information, Rachel. Thank you. So when exactly does GASB 96 take effect?
Yeah, so this GASB 96 standard is going to be effective for governmental entities for fiscal years beginning after June 15th of 2022, and of course, all reporting periods after that. So if you are one of those that has a 6/30 fiscal year end, you're going to ultimately be starting this on July 1st of 2022. However, of course, as always, the GASB does encourage early application of this standard. Now, for those of you who are going through and evaluating your lease contracts for that GASB 87 standard, you might want to just go ahead and start the search for these subscription-based IT arrangements. Since you are reaching out to those different departments, coming up with a list, scoping those out, it probably makes sense to start doing that now. So that way you'll be more prepared, as you've only got about a year or so until this standard happens.
So that is a hot tip coming in from Rachel. Be more efficient and combine your efforts. While looking at your lease population for GASB 87, take a look at your subscription-based IT arrangements for GASB 96, since it's coming right on its tails. Thanks so much for joining us today, Rachel, and thanks to our listeners for joining today's Accountant's Angle. Remember, you can submit your questions for upcoming audio blogs, and our experts will share their insights. Don't forget to tune in 2 weeks for our next accounting topic.